Recordian.
Recordian?
Recordian.
Joey, wake up, you metal moron! What happened? You missed all the
Yeah,
action.
Joey apparently passed out when Link, the camera up there, destroyed Brike.
It seems
Well, to be fair,
security
wouldn't you?
have mistaken me.
I mean, he is just a vacuum cleaner, so fair enough. You know, he's got that little probe, but I don't think that's enough to overcome security guards. So we finally get out of the first location of the game, and we are given this walkway that we ran down, and apparently nobody recognized that we're the guy in the overcoat who ran away from the crash anymore. So, lucky break there.
We were all
Way up in
alone,
the
you know.
clouds, Joey.
There were those guys who shot at us, though.
They've already left, I hope.
What do you reckon we should do?
Maybe.
See that railing?
Uh-huh.
I knew he was going to say it.
Yeah, Joey. He's very,
Never.
he's very mean at this part of the game.
He's just
Yeah.
really bitter about being a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah. We have this security officer who doesn't really care who
What's
we are.
going on?
Security alert. Interlevel movement is suspended.
And he has a completely different accent to all of the other security guards we've
Did your
seen.
vacuum cleaner speak?
Oh yeah.
No, I'm a ventriloquist.
What do you take me for, a dummy?
This
No,
exchange.
really. Watch this. A day.
I feel like this is a reference to something that I don't understand because it's from 1994.
It's in Veterax at the Security Services Social Center.
Like, I get the impression that whole ventriloquist thing is a reference to something that I just don't know because I'm too young.
Yeah, I'm getting the same feeling. I'm sure it was hilarious, though.
Yeah. There's going to be like one person who understands it, and they're going to think it's just the greatest thing ever. So this is the location that we don't actually have to be in right now.
Switched to the on
But you're going to be here anyways?
It's switched.
For... yeah, a little bit.
You trying to kill yourself?
We're going to talk to this old man.
Excuse me.
He's just going to yell at him.
What do you want, sweetie?
Why is he holding a wrench?
Because he's the mechanic.
I'm here to
Or
inspect
the
But he's
engineer.
going to kill us with it, apparently.
Nah.
They give me sores and
He just bats our
boils.
hand away if we try to toy with the
Power plant.
generator there.
Well, what's stopping ya? Who are you anyway?
We're
My name's
Rob Foster, the guy from Not in This City.
He's a human bomb.
What are you?
Come on,
talking-
Joey.
He's got a fuse in his mouth.
That's a cigarette.
Yeah.
He's inhaling the smoke for pleasure.
This seems counterproductive. Yeah.
Satire.
Yeah, Joey agrees with me. But we're gonna talk to this guy.
You here?
Because,
They have.
It has to happen eventually anyways, right?
well, because at this point I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't know what my objective is,
Who do these sabs represent?
and I don't know what I have to do to get to said objective. So, of course,
Another corporation.
I just
No,
find
this
that-
guy is actually
Robots.
a 9-year-old Brit.
Rivals.
You mean we're at war?
You what, mate?
Economically we are,
Yeah.
And they're winning.
Yeah, it's another different type of accent.
Our flood in the market
It's still in
is
the
making
broad
gold.
range of like English accent, but it's a completely different one than any of the other ones we've heard.
Don't you ever do
So this
that
place
work?
is actually future United Kingdom, which like includes the whole world.
It happens a lot. It's very strange because there.
Do you know
I
a
think
guy called
I do think the
Overman?
majority of the characters have
never heard
English
of it.
accents of some sort.
What's your
Actually,
opinion of the council?
I think I
It's-
like it a bit better than future Mirror's Edge. Everyone's American.
yeah, but it kind of puts a spotlight on the fact that our main character has an American accent.
I don't belong here.
Where do you belong,
Well, he's
then?
doesn't belong here. He's from out of this place,
Yeah,
and therefore he's the hero
Bloody awful
because
place.
nationalism.
Mutants.
and look at him. He's just telling everybody that he's from the Gap.
Not me. I'm
I'm not from this city. Like, it's not the sort of thing you just want to go around announcing.
Well, they don't seem to believe him because then he would be gross, apparently.
Yeah. So, of course, it's an adventure game, so I see interactable objects, and I'm like, well, I'm going to need that object at some point. But there's no way to grab it at the moment.
Well, people like to complain that, like, everything in adventure games, you know you need it because it's highlightable. But the truth is, if everything was highlightable, including stuff you didn't need, that would be way worse.
Actually, apparently that is one of the things that previously mentioned Dreamweb does. There are a lot of items in the game that you can pick up that have no use at all for anything.
Just, why would you do this? This is why no one's heard of Dreamweb.
Nothing's happening, Rob. It's jammed.
It's marked surge.
Oh yeah, I don't even I recorded this and I don't remember how we trigger those buttons. I'm bad at this thing. So I try whacking it with the wrench, and that actually works.
I've loosened.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like I intended him to just like bash it with the wrench, like actually just smack it, but no, he actually just loosened the nut, and now we can press the buttons.
I've loosened the nut.
So you mentioned before, like, that you just wish that you could use wrench on thing and he would just attack it.
Yes, he almost does that, but he just uses it for the item that it's supposed to be used for. I don't know.
Try pressing.
Oh, you fussy.
Yeah, so now we're gonna blow up that steam pipe, and we're gonna get the engineer out of here,
Yay.
so that we can turn off the light switch and take the light bulb, because adventure games. And of course that steam pipe is incredibly loud.
Of course.
I don't
Yeah.
have time to sit around.
Flick the switch, take the light bulb, because adventure games. I know that light bulb is going to come in useful somewhere down the line. And I try to get into the control panel to get to the switches, but of course I can't do that yet. So I flail around and then just leave. But not without trying to
Oh,
talk
the
to Joey.
flailing, man.
Yeah.
Why would you want to stay any longer in this incredibly loud room? Oh, ow, ow, my everything, ow.
Because I thought that there was more that I could do at this particular moment. But there isn't.
But then the game would be too short.
Yeah. So we're heading along this walkway that seems a lot longer than it actually is because of Rob's leisurely pace. And
Man, he's walking like I do. Why?
Yeah, and we're just strolling right into the security center. Yeah.
What do you want him for?
I do love these two guys, though.
Can't you fix it yourself?
Once again, different accents, but
I haven't seen our bins
they
all
are...
day. He's probably busy.
I love their obstinate refusal to be helpful in any way, shape, or form.
Yes.
You
I'd
know,
like to-
as the bureaucracy does.
Regarding a
Yeah,
domestic
exactly.
incident,
Much like Hell
I've
from
been transferred
Beyond
from
Atlantis.
domestics. I have this tendency to get
Let me guess.
emotionally involved.
Let me guess, domestics is the desk on the right.
It's my nature.
Where nobody is working anymore.
That's a relief.
I believe I return
Yes.
to this multiple times when I don't need to,
Yes.
because I try using items on NPCs.
Well, don't spoil, man.
From the link terminal.
Well, it's just
Just who are
it's
you
it's
anyway?
pointless wandering,
I'm
basically.
here to inspect the building.
I don't actually remember when or where it happens.
That's right. Routine inspection.
But we're trying to make our way into the security
look.
headquarters.
Anything about
Yeah, he doesn't mention, oh, I'm from out of town when he realizes he has to
What
be an
kind of
inspector.
inspection or-
Yeah, exactly. We're trying to be in we're trying to be in
Routine, huh? Phew, that's
but the
a-
routine inspection is unusual.
It's not convenient, right?
So we don't get in. Of
Quit
course.
pestering me when
Um,
I'm busy.
So obviously we have to find a different way into the security headquarters, but we can't do that yet.
It's some kind of security device.
because we can't actually interact with this card scanner.
That elevator leads to security HQ.
So Rob's just gonna
Couldn't open that.
he's
I
gonna
totally bet
stand
that was
around.
security hoe.
Yeah, he's gonna stand around, just talking about everything. And then we get this,
Having a problem with your car?
and he just pulls out a gun.
Let me
It's like,
check that
whoa,
for you.
whoa.
That's why the upcoming choice to bluff your way out of it makes sense, because he just pulled a gun on you.
My
Yeah,
card is
yeah.
coated with porridge.
Porridge?
Yeah, I dropped it in my breakfast. I meant to clean it, but I forgot.
Ah,
I've done
Rob.
that so many times myself.
I like
Really?
the fact,
So
yeah,
easily done, isn't it?
you're just eating breakfast,
You're having breakfast,
and you drop your ID card in your porridge.
and plop. Your card submerged.
But he's so
inside his ear.
understanding.
Yeah,
They got someone to record these lines. Wow.
yeah. So of course we're gonna use the ID card on the terminal, because what else would you use it for at this point? And we're gonna just completely mess up Reich's life, but he's already dead anyway, so it's not like he's gonna care. This
Why did they? Why this is not very good targeted advertising. It's something about how I bet he was the best in fashion to Mr.
Yeah.
Reich.
Well, this is all like world building stuff that I just skimmed over, but if you want to read it, you can pause and look at it and stuff. It's
Wasn't one of them about sewage and croutons?
there's a lot of very silly things in there, which is why I kind of scanned through them, but they don't have any relevance to the game proper. But it's that cool bit of like world building that I really enjoy out of games.
That there was just too much of in Darkfall.
Yeah. At the behest of everything else the game needed. So of course this is our elevator that is
Interlevel access suspended
Not
Locked
working.
down.
during
Yeah.
routine anti-terrorist
routine anti-terrorist strikes.
security
Yeah.
services, protecting the community.
Hi,
But
Joey.
An elevator
I try getting into the elevator anyway. Because why not?
It's a computer terminal with the word link.
Rob has to point out the obvious in everything. And of course,
A loose
adventure
cable.
games.
Now that could be very useful.
Adventure
Absolutely.
games. It's a
Can't reach.
Like, I looked at that cable, and the very first thing I thought was, I need to snip that.
yeah.
How can we get off
I need to
this
snip
level,
that,
Joey?
and of course my first thought was, well, I can't reach it, but maybe Joey can. But no, he can't. So he just tells us to jump to the ground level again. It's like, oh, no.
At least he was more, like, subtle about it that time.
Choppers are right off.
This is our wrecked copter
lucky to get
that
out
we just crashed into the upper level here, and
Yeah,
we're just
totes
gonna,
our
What
fault.
happened here?
yeah, we're just gonna talk
Sabotage
to
chopper
the
crashed.
security guard who's
Destroyed
in
the
front of it,
hospital.
who presumably was
Hospital.
around
That's
at the
tragic.
time. I don't
Could
like
have been
again.
worse.
I'm very confused
It
as to
almost hit
why
the factory.
none of the security guards recognize that we're the guy who ran away from the crash.
When the cleanup crew arrive,
Oh well.
walkway is off
It's
limits.
better than if he
You'll
does.
have
That would
to
make a
take
short
the
adventure
elevator
game.
down to Bellevue.
I mean, yeah, but
It's not working.
Too
I don't know.
You're not very helpful.
Yeah, this security guard is not helpful at
To
all.
help people.
But
In that
at
case,
least he
why-
admits.
Satire!
Security.
At least he admits
My mother
that
talked me into it.
he's not helpful.
I wanted to work with animals. Always fancied vivisection.
Now I'm not sure that's
Oh, yikes.
I'm not sure that's the right way to work with animals.
They've already scraped out the
you know.
remains of the crew.
Yeah, he's saying, do you mind if I watch? And I'm just thinking, I'm really glad this is not like Harvester, where acting suspicious like this and cause them to kill you.
Yeah,
And Reich will
yeah.
deal with him. He's a living legend among
Like,
security.
there's this
Oh.
brilliant scene in Harvester where, like, you just ask the Cold War guy about commies, and he just nukes everything when you
I don't
ask.
want to be a
Yep.
scaremonger,
So,
but
at least that's not happening here by asking if you want to watch this dead crash.
Yeah. He doesn't particularly care. He's a bit curious as to why you're so interested, but
Yeah. At least they think like eco-terrorists did it.
Yeah. It couldn't have been this guy in an overcoat. So we see a robot, and obviously
Love that shell.
Joey would love it. So we have to find a way to transfer Joey's circuit board to the new robot.
Why not by hand?
Well, I try mashing items into it every now and then, but then we're just like, oh, well, we'll talk to this other NPC who surely will have information for us.
Checking the pipes. Do they have to be perfect?
That's ridiculous. If they have to be perfect,
Why is a
they
human
should be checked by a
doing that?
robot.
Yeah.
What's that?
Oh, it's like my old job at the GPS factory again.
Really? He just follows me around.
It makes snide
And
remarks.
gets in my way.
Yeah.
Especially the
I
pathing
get
in
down
this
to
game,
ground
right?
level.
The
Yeah.
elevator.
He quite literally gets in our way.
The elevator's not working.
Why is everyone telling us to jump?
Lamb will be furious if he can't get down to Belgium.
They're very, very cynical
Has
individuals.
security been in here?
Yeah, they really stirred up.
But I mean,
They
admittedly,
were looking
like,
for someone.
this guy is like going on like a broken record about how he needs to get to ground level and get out of the city.
Supervisor's orders.
And there's a
Well, to be fair,
character.
Oh gosh, Lamb.
There's a character we're going to be seeing a lot of throughout this game.
Don't answer back, woman. Report to the captain room immediately.
Yeah. Once
That just
again,
sounds so fatal.
once again,
What are you
another
doing
different
here?
type of English
Do you
accent.
know who I am, lad?
I've no
Or
idea.
actually, I
This
think
is literally all of England in one level.
Gilbert
I think this one might even extend into like
If I look around,
the British Isles.
I certainly
Uh,
do. Who
But
are
it's
you?
there's so many different
safety inspector.
Outrageous. I've not been notified.
Like, what you don't realize is Foster's actually just American Brit.
This is a random spot check.
He certainly can think
I
on his
don't
feet,
care.
though.
Get out.
But of course, we get kicked out anyway because we chose the wrong option. It doesn't actually have a negative effect on the game. You can just go back in without any sort of consequences, which raises the question of why you got kicked out in the first place.
Well, they had to, like, oh, you don't have to like get the right option at all in any way.
No, you just
Okay.
you can tell him you're a safety inspector, or you can tell him that you're security, and if you're security, he just waves you off like, oh, bah, and then you get to walk around anyway. But if you tell him that you're a safety inspector, he kicks you out, and then you can just walk back in.
It's called character building.
Yeah. And of course,
This is the
Joey.
first time this game was the first time I ever heard "mutts nuts," and I always
Yep.
thought it was a horrifying expression.
Joey making the crude jokes over there.
There's no.
So yeah, this is where I start mashing items into the robot and other items. Like
I don't think mashing bar into robot would actually ever be a good idea.
Well, see, I thought that if I hit the console with the crowbar there, it would stop the conveyor belt or something, which is
It's part of the mechanism.
very similar to what you have to do, but not quite right.
And besides, there's a guy who's like inspecting the conveyor belt and probably get upset, right?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't care.
Look through to another room.
Fair enough.
That will come into play
Excuse me.
momentarily when we start talking to this man in his lab coat, his brown lab coat.
So we're talking to him from over there and we expect him to come to us? Oh, okay.
No. We have to wait, and then we have to wait for him to stop his animation, his work animation, and then we walk over there.
Hey, just a minute. Who are you?
And he actually asks who we are. And we can, again, tell him we're security or a safety inspector.
Safety inspector.
I opted to be consistent.
If there's been a breach of regulations, see Lamb about it.
It doesn't matter what you tell him, though.
Don't you get bored working here?
Oh, not me. I like
This
my
is totally a question asked by a safety inspector.
Yeah,
with his clipboard for starters.
but he's really into his
Quick
clipboard.
finish on that plastic.
He loves that clipboard.
Lovely piece of lamination.
Satire?
Isn't it just?
I don't think so.
I can tell
I
you're
think
proud
he's
of it.
just really proud of his
Oh,
clipboard.
yes. They don't make clipboards like this anymore.
Are we sure this isn't some sort of satire?
I mean, maybe, but it's like, it's some meta level stuff, because this was made before, like, paper started being phased out in favor of, like, computers and stuff.
I used to think
Like, I would admit, like, I would not expect to see many clipboards nowadays. But back in 1994?
Do you know a guy called
And it's a really high quality clipboard too for this situation.
Yeah.
'Cause it's like the highest quality thing in the whole darn plant.
Never.
Yeah. But, oh, the sensors.
Hey,
Yeah, we're not allowed in there yet.
my mistake. Thought it was the John.
Again, he's very quick on his feet, though.
For robots only.
But we figure out that that room is for robots, which means that we can talk to Joey. And
I
now,
want you to check out the storeroom.
we can get him into that room.
What's the catch?
Brilliant.
There's no catch.
Yeah.
There could be something useful.
Because adventure
Don't
games.
count on it.
Quit being so, like, smart, like, savvy, Joey.
Need a rag suit if you're going in there. Hey, what do you mean? This one is totally rad. I mean, protective
Rob making the
clothing.
puns again.
70s, man.
Yeah.
All that 70s. Oh no, what are you doing this time?
Nah, I quickly saved again, and then I tried shoving the sandwich in the cogs, which is not how you solve the puzzle.
You don't actually need the sandwich after all.
He tries, but it doesn't work. Now, you do have to shove
Aw.
something into those cogs.
There's a
metal
fuse
bar.
box on the wall, connected to the alarm system.
Either that or the wrench.
Can you disconnect it?
It's one of those items.
Sorry,
You
no
use
can
those a lot for puzzles in this game.
Well, that seems like the very useful destroy thing approach, right?
Yeah. And that's
Staring.
The metal
Yeah, that's a
bar
weird
is
problem
big
this
fish
game
in there.
has occasionally, is that when you click to do something, you like use an item or talk to a character, there is
That
like
really put
a
wrench
second
in
or two of lag between
Oh no!
like actually like you clicking on it and it actually doing
You
the
wouldn't know
thing,
anything about it, would you?
which was very odd. I don't understand why it did that.
The machinery looks outdated to me.
We tell him that he's working in a really old factory.
It was only built 30 years ago. That explains why it stops. doesn't
We
it?
just tell him all of his equipment is crap.
I'll pretend.
And
I
yeah,
get
see,
them.
he doesn't care. He doesn't care that the conveyor stopped.
Okay, what the heck is his job then?
Yeah, something involving his clipboard. He's overseeing something, but it doesn't involve the conveyor belt.
You can't see it, but what he's writing on that clipboard is all work and no play makes me a dull boy.
Yeah. So we have the conveyor belt stopped, which means that the robot is no longer functioning. But you can't actually manually do anything with the robot. You have to talk to Joey to trigger the arbitrary progression flag.
To be fair, that makes sense. You know, Joey is a moving being.
Yeah. But then, of course, you have to unscrew the robot anyway. Which means that we have to get back the wrench that I left in the cogs. Which, I didn't take the wrench at first, because I thought if you took it out of the cogs, they would start moving again. They don't.
Well, you know, you've ruined the cogs.
Yeah, they're destroyed cogs now. And I think they're actually called broken cogs, yeah.
Well, that is, I can verify, that is in fact what happens when you put wrenches in cogs.
Yeah.
My parents were not very happy.
Oh dear. So we use the wrench to loosen the robot,
Loosen to robot
and then we just slap the robot on top of Joey.
Do you want a new shell? I hope.
Well, just, I went and read a story, like, a while ago, that apparently, like, this, there was escaped monkeys from the zoo, and then, like, they found one of them in, like, on top of an elevator, and it was pregnant, and there was an article saying monkey wench in the works. Just thought you'd like to know that.
I almost feel guilty for stealing its body.
That robot chassis just stays there for the rest of the game.
How do you like
Well,
the
it's
new
not like it's
shower?
doing anything.
No.
Sleek. Can't wait to use the well.
And here's another
You be careful with
joke.
that thing. If I want you to use it, I'll tell you.
Exterminate. Exterminate.
And cut that out.
Welp.
Yeah. So we ended on a high note, of course.
Oh no, what are you saving at this time? No!